Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you in. Frangie, Carline, LaSelva, today's new drug. Is the team that came all the way back. JJ, do you have a Braves shirt on? Did I see that right?
I am wearing a Braves Abbey Road Beatles shirt.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Did you have it? Did you have it on all day? Is my question.
I did.
Yeah.
I no reason I wore it. I was just like, hey, we're on a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah.
Might as well wear it and try to bring some winning, mojo to the team. Did it work? I've been at work. I haven't been following the game.
Here's what happened. We got off to a good start, and then I got busy. Hayes, I didn't see what happened after.
Oh, you didn't see what happened?
No, I just saw it was 6-0. So I figured they were going to waltz home.
Must be a lock.
It was 10-3 in the ninth.
10-3 top of the ninth. You feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, it's 10-3 in the ninth. Okay, so they probably brought in some minor league pitcher just to clean up.
Yeah.
What happened after that, Hayes? Will you clear it up for us? Braves baseball.
Yes.
On a Thursday afternoon.
The Diamondbacks.
At home, by the way.
Yeah, at home. Scored 7 in the top of the ninth.
No, they didn't.
So it was 10-4, excuse me. Sir.
And
they did not.
Won the game 11-10. Yeah.
They did not. That did not. No, it didn't. You're making that up.
It's an embarrassing day for someone even like me. That is as casual a Braves fan as there exists on earth. But even the Braves clubs that I loved growing up as a kid in the 80s that were terrible,
right?
They didn't lose games like this. I mean, this is unbelievable. What they do last night, they left the bases loaded in the 8th and the 9th.
Yeah, they first of all,
1-1 loss.
They didn't have a single hit through most of the game through the 7th inning. They finally have a chance to score, and 3 guys come up, 3 guys strike out with men in scoring position in the 8th, and in the 9th they load the bases again. They even get the pitcher walks a guy in. And you're thinking, man, just a single here might really turn the season around. But no, they struck out.
Oh, look, I'll be there. I just saw the headline. D-backs score 7 in 9th to rally past reeling Braves.
Yeah. 27-34.
That's an insult to reeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, trust me. Those ignominious moments, my team has them mastered, so I know all about it. But so today we're in the office at walk-off, and we have our golf tournament coming up on Monday. So we have 4 or 5 people in the office working on the golf tournament. Well, 2 of whom are diehard Braves fans. So we have 2 TVs in there. So we have one of our people working on there was a diehard Cardinals fan. So we put the Cardinals Royals game up, and then 2 others are diehard Braves fans, and they're working, they're grinding. I want them to be able to watch the game. So we put the Braves D-backs game on. The minute we put the game on, it's 6-0. Okay, I blinked. I don't even think, you push the button in to turn it on. You haven't even taken your thumb completely off the button yet, and it was 6-3. I mean, it went 6-0 to 6-3 before you could blink, and then I really did walk away from it. And then I looked up about a half an hour ago, oh my, that was not good. When you see that phrase, the phrase you never want to see is, when your team's involved, came all the way back. So, that was 7 in the 9th.
Yeah, they're 2-8.
In the 9th.
It almost makes you wonder, has that ever happened? I mean, I'm sure it has because of the nature of baseball, but has that ever happened in Braves history? Have they ever blown a 7-run lead
probably,
in the top of the ninth? They probably have.
Every team has done it, but it seems
wow.
Yeah.
It's definitely probably top 5 worst blown losses by the Braves.
The game ended, by the way, on a double play.
Yes.
Just for extra fun.
Osuna, who, by the way, they said, this is just... the front office, what are we doing? So now you're at the point where there's only 3 worse teams than you in all of the National League.
Trust me, I know one of them.
Yeah,
sorry, okay, I'm with you.
So you should be, a seller in a couple months here. But they just came out the other day and were like, Ozuna's hip is messed up. And he probably needs surgery, but he's going to be playing through it. It's like, why are we telling it? Well, we're supposed to be trying to hype these guys up to try to trade them, and now it's an absolute mess.
Yeah, let me ask you this. This is a serious question. Have the Braves are 7 games under, 64 games in. When's the last time that was the case? I mean, so JJ, is that? I mean,
so a few years ago when they did have to come back
it was that
crazy,
bad.
I don't think it was ever that bad this late. They were always
6 or 7 years ago. They were bad, right?
Oh yeah, they
the
finished
Braves had a bad little dip
they did,
there.
They were in last place a couple, 6, 7, like you said.
All right, I didn't, but nonetheless, I might have been wrong. I said I didn't think they were going to tumble, but they're 7. You're. I mean, I'm looking just The Marlins are worse. The Pirates, of course, are worse.
And the Rockies.
And the Rockies. Boy, you're right. That's it.
That's it, man. This
They're
team
they're the fourth worst team in the National League.
supposed to win 90-plus games.
I mean, they're going to have to play 65 and 35 ball going forward to even
Which
have
they're
a
not
chance
do.
at the end, which
Yes,
they're not going to do.
Don't worry, they're hosting the All-Star game.
So yeah, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
What a great season for
what
that.
a year to host the All-Star game. Things we'll get to today, by the way, the news has broke the worst-kept secret of all time, Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers on a one-year deal.
Finally.
I guess the reality is everybody's known all along of us. So, I mean, this is the most non-newsy news story in a long time, right?
Yeah, I would say so. There was always a little bit of an element of doubt just because you just don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to wander off into a cave and get high and come out and say, I'm retiring. But, he's just unpredictable by his personality. But from a football standpoint, yeah, it made the most sense for him. Certainly makes the most sense for the Steelers. And, now we'll see what happens. I still think it's going to be – I mean, Pittsburgh's better with Aaron Rodgers, don't get me wrong, but I don't know that it changes really how I view the Steelers. I mean, I still think that they're definitely the third best team in their own division, which makes the path to the tournament difficult. And this, to me, feels like the year where they could really bottom out. So we'll see. But
and to that point – I agree with everything you said about the Steelers. Listen, the Jags were in a really bad way last year. They couldn't cover anything deep. They got beat by deep balls, guys running wide open all year, and the Devontae Adams was the worst of the worst. But it did not look like Aaron Rodgers had the zip on the ball last year. Watching him in person here in our stadium that he had over those years. I mean, did you feel that way? I mean, I
felt his release was still Aaron Rodgers.
The ball got out quick. I agree with that.
But I mean, he's not. Athletically, he's obviously well past his prime. So he's not going to have the same. To
the very end, I never thought Tom Brady's ball floated. To the very end. Obviously, he won a Super Bowl near the very end. I know that, but I mean, it never looked like his ball changed to me. Favre, when he was 40. He wasn't as good, but I never thought the velocity, to my untrained eye, I never thought the velocity on the ball was different. And I'm judging Aaron Rodgers on one game at our stadium in December, but I didn't think, I've seen Rodgers a bunch now. I've seen Rodgers in a Super Bowl. We've called his games. I didn't think he had, I thought I noticed a clear difference in velocity watching him last year. So we'll see.
And now he's 8 months older.
Yeah, right. Your point about the release is right. Dan Marino to the very end got the ball out lightning quick. So that part hasn't changed. I agree with that. So, but anyway, nonetheless, that's the story that the news that isn't really news, but Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers now, and certainly everybody will talk about what that means.
It really will rank up high on most fatigued NFL storyline that I think the public's had to deal with.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Really high.
I don't know anyone that was remotely engaged in this storyline, but you have to follow it because it's a storied franchise and it's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, I will tell you this. I tell you this all the time. I regularly read all the Pittsburgh city websites, the newspaper websites, because I can't get enough Pirate news. As bad as they suck, I read every possible story about them. I wear all the websites. So I'm on them to read about the Pirates all the time. They're sick of this story. Most of the columnists were hoping it didn't happen. Part of it, they're all hoping Mason Rudolph is their quarterback. As bad as he is, that's what they're writing. So all the fans on the comment section. So yeah, you described it perfectly. What a fatiguing story that, look, if he's 34 years old coming off 3 straight MVPs, then it's a big story. It's different now. So anyway, but Aaron Rodgers. All right, some other news, by the way, today. The Gator Bowl has its start time. Did you see this?
Yeah.
What a good window. Saturday night at 7:30 on ABC. That's a great window for the Gator Bowl.
It is. Now, is that going up against
the playoff?
NFL?
Not in December. Not December 27th.
They don't start.
I
thought they did around
maybe
that
time. Maybe Greg McGarry's going to come on at 5 o'clock.
It's certainly. Look, prime time on a Saturday night on ABC
on the big network. Yeah.
That sounds pretty good. You just worry about what the other networks might be doing.
Yeah, but Greg McGarry will join us at 5 o'clock.
Cool.
He's excited about that, and he should be. I can tell you this. I talked to Greg on the phone today. he is really excited about the window they drew. I can tell you that. So I think that's so good for him. I think that matters. So Jaguar minicamp today. Your thoughts from the final OTA, as it were. The minicamps next week. Anything grab you today?
Yeah, I thought a good day. A lot of situational red zone stuff, which is good to see. It seems like that's heightened this year. Again, it's always kind of hard to remember, previous OTAs and absolute specifics, but it feels like they're doing a lot of good situational stuff, a lot of red zone, and Travis Hunter played offense. So again, we've only seen the 4 practices we got to see 4 of the 10. He was on offense every time, but yeah, fun watching him and Brian Thomas Jr. and got a chance to catch up with Eric Armstead after practice for an interview. So yeah, it was a good day out there.
All right, so we're going to talk all Jaguars. When we come back, you're going to hear from Eric Armstead, the latest subject of a Hayes Carlyon one-on-one. We're going to tell you what we thought or what we saw. Brian Thomas Jr. met with the media today, as did Liam Cohen. So we got a lot of things to get to today. We'll talk some Jaguars football in a moment. Later on, by the way, our draft. Oh, I did that value board. The most important thing of the value board is how many of them I had heard of. And there were like 2 or 3. But we do a Loser Monday draft. That comes up later on the program as well. Got a lot to do. Glad you're with us. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The summer.
It's summer. It's summer. It's summer
Of 1010XL.
It's summer.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be an 8-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnickChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. I've been buying my vehicles from Nimnick since 1982 because they care about their customers and are invested in our local community, including supporting walk-off charities, and all we're trying to do to help underprivileged kids learn to play baseball. Treating you right, giving back to the community, more choices and better prices for you. So who has put the most years and stands behind a better experience? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Visit their showroom off Cassett Avenue or shop 24/7 at NimnickChevy.com. Head to Nimnick today. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. If you have a sweet tooth like me, the sweetest desserts in town come from Spoonful Bakery. Spoonful is an online bakery. They deliver boxes of assorted desserts right to your home or office. They're so good, and they make for great gifts for friends or clients. If you want custom orders, wedding cakes or birthday cakes, or catered desserts for an event, they are the best. Log on to spoonful-bakery.com or call them at 904-515-4984. That's Spoonful Bakery for the sweetest desserts in town.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Start your Saturday with a whiff of the great outdoors.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Lagerman, and we bring you the fresh air of the great outdoors.
On the Nimnick Outdoors Show, presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At Tucker Equipment Rental in Neptune Beach, you just don't rent quality machines, you rent quality customer service. Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Dave. Tucker Equipment Rental has been supplying Jacksonville with equipment and event rental for over 50 years.
From commercial and homeowner projects, we've got what you need: lifts, dirt equipment, and landscape equipment.
And don't forget about event rentals, from festivals to weddings to backyard barbecues.
Local, knowledgeable, and always ready to help.
Tucker Equipment Rentals.
You need it, we've got it, come see us.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
It's a battle of football champions as your Sharks take on the Arizona Rattlers. Don't miss any of the action this Saturday, June 7th. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try the new Family 4-Pack. 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700.
It's a battle of football champions as your Sharks take on the Arizona Rattlers. Don't miss any of the action this Saturday, June 7th. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try our Family Fun Pack. 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700.
Go Sharks!
Team 10XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
And I can tell you, my friends, that Stanley Pools are so good. They build pools. They also build backyards, the pavers, all of it, whatever you need back there. They've done ours. They've redone ours, the fountain, the water features. They do it all for you. And they service the pools. They're a complete pool company. They have been doing it since 88, and they're good at it. Greg Stanley and Kim and Liz, that terrific team over there, they do an outstanding job. My friends, it's Stanley Pools, the best pool builders and the best pool, most efficient pool people to take care of your pool in town. Frangie and Carline and JJ LaSelva, when we talk about the Jags, we were all out there today. The final OTA next week is the mandatory minicamp, and then they'll break for the summer or parts of the summer before they come back for training camp. I think of all the rooms, people like to talk about rooms. They used to talk about positions, now they call them rooms. Of all the rooms, the biggest question is on the defensive line apart from the edge guys. They didn't do much to add. Devon Hamilton, if he can come back to being what he once was before the illness, was a very good two-gapper. Eric Armstead certainly played very well and was even good in a Super Bowl. He was a good player in San Francisco, played a lot of end last year. He's exclusively a tackle now. We'll hear from him in a moment. But I would say, look, Mason Smith's big. He looks bigger. Didn't he look big today? He's big, but Mason Smith, Tyler Lacey, Jordan Jefferson, others will get in the mix. But if Devon Hamilton and Eric Armstead as starters, Hayes, can be solid, that'll be great. And then Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson and Tyler Lacey can continue to develop. I think that would be a big development for the team. I think there's a lot expected from Hamilton and Eric Armstead this year, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, for Devon Hamilton, I think it's kind of make or break. I mean, it's a huge year for Devon Hamilton in terms of proving that he can get back to where he was before the unfortunate back ailment that he had. For Eric Armstead, it's how much is left in the tank. And how much are you willing to give him the benefit of the doubt from being poorly utilized last year with Ryan Nielsen as coordinator and wanting him to play defensive end. I give him a pretty healthy amount of slack for that because he's a defensive tackle. It never made sense to us,
right?
Like when we first found out about it. Like when they signed him, we were like, oh, he's a defensive tackle. And then they started talking about defensive end, but we were like, but he's a tackle. He's going to be a tackle. And he never was. So I give Armstead some slack for that. And you hope at 31 years old that he's got another big-time season left in him because he's just such a disruptor and creates so many big things for his teammates around him. I mean, he looks great, 6'8", 298. So, I mean, he looks, like he's in fantastic shape. And hopefully Devon Hamilton can get back. Devon Hamilton, I think, was on his way to being a very good player in the NFL, and then had this crazy infection in his back, and and it's just taken time. But hopefully, to your point, hopefully they're able to have solid years. I do think Mason Smith is going to be a good player here. So yeah, I think they looked at it. Obviously, we thought at 5 that could be a defensive tackle leading up to the draft. I guess the way they view it is, look, Eric Armstead he's not going to play a snap at defensive end, barring like something really going wrong in a game where they lose like 3 guys to injury, which is good. They've supplemented the edge depth, so Eric Armstead should be fully a tackle. And I still think that, there's good football in Eric Armstead.
And that is I do too, and that is a big part of their team. He's the starting 3 technique, Eric Armstead, the former 49er, and the subject of this Hayes Carlyon one-on-one.
We are pleased to be joined with Jaguars defensive tackle Eric Armstead here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Congratulations on being Walter Payton Man of the Year. What a tremendous honor. What has that meant for you, Eric, and give our audience a sense of the great work that you're doing off the field?
It's a huge honor. Mostly excited about what our organization will be able to do with the award, with the platform, and the opportunities that it will provide, and serving youth at a higher level, and excited to do more and more here in Jacksonville, continuing to do that, and also in my hometown. And so the work never stops. I take that responsibility on myself with all my other responsibilities of being a football player and a dad and a husband and all these other things. I don't take this responsibility of ensuring that our community is a better place, and so I love doing that.
You got to go to the draft, and that was certainly exciting to be honored there, and then it got pretty wild with the trade. What was that like from your perspective, thinking you're going to announce the second-round pick, and then obviously Gladstone makes the big move to go get Travis Hunter, and you're up there with the commissioner and reading out the card and trade?
Yeah, I posted a little behind the scenes on my Instagram of kind of that moment and that experience. It was a lot of fun. As soon as we made the trade, I knew who we were drafting, the best player in the draft. So excited to have him. He's going to have a huge impact on our team, both offensively and defensively. So definitely excited to have him.
Eric, going into year 2 here with the Jaguars, new scheme, how do you feel like it suits you, and what's your comfort level right now?
I feel good. I feel great. I'm excited to get into training camp and get into the season.
In terms of things that you work on this time of year, what are some technique things, Eric, that you're focusing in on?
I'm always trying to improve my game. I watch a lot of film, do a lot of self-scout, see different ways I can incorporate, new moves and new techniques to be effective out there, and, staying in shape, staying strong, and then going out there and, giving them all.
What are you seeing out of Trayvon and Josh on the edge?
2 of the best players in our league, have been for a while. Trayvon is about to have a phenomenal year. I think they're both going to have a phenomenal year. Josh, he has high aspirations. I think, he could be a defensive player of the year in this league, and Trayvon's about to break the bank. So I'm excited to take the field with those guys.
How excited are you to be playing more of the natural defensive tackle position this year?
Very excited. Excited for my opportunity. Excited for how our team is coming together, and excited for the season.
Do you like the energy Cohen and Gladstone have brought?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a great vibe. A lot of newness, a lot of first timers. First time GM, first time head coach. So with that, I think it brings a new youthful energy, and they want to get it right. They want to nail it, and they're doing everything they can to make a first impression in this league. So
that leadership component, how important is that to you as one of the guys that is had one of the best careers in this locker room to this point?
Yeah, leadership is very important. The best teams that I've played on, had great leadership in a multitude of ways. Some guys are vocal, some guys pull a guy to the side and help them out. Some guys are, guys out there who provide a lot of energy, guys out there who have a lot of experience and know the game and can help, schematically and help younger players. So there's a lot of different ways to be a leader, and we have a lot of great leaders on this team.
Mason Smith talked about, last year kind of having to learn, how to be a pro, conditioning, things like that. What kind of strides have you seen out of Mason Smith, if any, to this point?
Mason's going to have a great year, too. Big jump in the NFL is from year 1 to 2. Your rookie season can be very long, coming out of college and then pre-draft and all that. And, you're just trying to figure it out there. And I think he played well last season. I think he showed some flashes, and I expect him to have a great year this year and really stamp himself as a premier player in this league.
Eric Armstead, thank you so much for your time. We certainly appreciate it, and best of luck to you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you to Eric Armstead for taking a few minutes for us after practice. Obviously some interesting thoughts on his own play, but I thought a big-time nugget there and maybe a peek as to what's coming when he talked about Trayvon Walker and said he's getting ready to break the bank, which makes you wonder if there's some rumblings in the locker room that contract extension is close.
Well, I'll say this. The people that they invested in, whether it was Trevor, whether it was Tyson Campbell, whether it was Josh Hines Allen, they've paid them. They've paid the players that they invested in and have been good players. So,
and I think they should pay Trayvon Walker.
I do too.
Before it gets more expensive.
I do too. I do too. We've had this talk 1,000 times. He's always going to be compared to Aiden Hutchinson because he went ahead of him. Aiden Hutchinson looks like a more natural exterior pass rusher. That's just being honest. But Trayvon's a good player, and I say this all the time. Most teams, and the Jags are certainly in this category, don't have that many great players. Or don't have that many really good players. It's hard to find good players, and it's really hard to find big good players, good big players. So yeah, I agree with you. I hope they up him too. Back to Armstead. If Eric Armstead can have a really good year as a 3 technique, I'll say it again, he doesn't need to be great. Devon Hamilton doesn't need to be great because I think there's something there with Mason Smith. I know they think there's something there with Tyler Lacey and Jordan Jefferson. Those three young guys, they came in different years. Those 3 young guys, there's something there. I believe that. But I don't think any of the 3 needed to go and have to be a must starter. You know what I mean? Mason Smith was drafted very high last year, so he's a must starter. I don't think he needs to be that or is ready for that. But I think if Hamilton and Armstead can be really good, solid starters, and again, Hamilton probably isn't going to play a lot on 3rd down, so he's only a 2-down guy anyway. So if they can be good starters, I think that position is going to be okay. I think that's the key to it for me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that the talent is there. They've got, I think, at least some promising depth. And again, Armstead and Hamilton have certainly had great moments in their careers. So Armstead more consistently. But yeah, I mean, I think the defensive front is capable of having a big time season. And again, it's that what Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines Allen do is going to be largely reflective of how well the defense as a whole does. But they need help in the interior. And I do think with Armstead now solely playing defensive tackle and with Mason Smith, there will be more occasions where the quarterback's going to feel pressure and have to roll either left or right to either Walker or Hines Allen.
One thing I like today, we always talk about what we saw at the mini camp or the OTAs. I was right in front of a linebacker tackling drill that Anthony Campanile was running. Were you nearby that?
I don't think so.
It was intense, man. It was good. I mean, that guy's going to be a ball coach.
You say tackling drill like with dummies.
With dummies, right. Yeah. You can't hit each other. Right. But they had the blocking drill, the tackling drill when you hit the dummy. Mm-hmm. You hit the sled, then they hit the dummy. Right. You hit the sled, then you tackle the blocking dummy. But it was right in front of me. I'm glad you said that. Hey, the Jags are out there tackling. But they hit the sled, then hit the dummy, and it was right in front of us. and Campanile was running that drill. It was pretty cool. I mean, he's an intense guy. Watching the teaching, and again, I'm not an old football player, so football players would probably get excited about that even more. But I'm just telling you, watching it, it was a good drill. It was a good drill. It was good. It was fun to watch. So, all right. Do you know what time it is?
What time is that?
Let me just tell you this. I didn't like y'all's chances before, but now I've loaded up on a Reese's protein bar again.
Oh, you're addicted to that.
Oh, it's 2 in a row, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, right now.
I did notice you were looking extra fit today.
Well, there's no question. I mean, what I might do is I might go run 4 or 5 miles during the break.
Yeah.
And race back here.
Run to get another protein bar.
Run right to the store and to get healthy again. We got Loser Monday. Being that I've been the big loser, I get to go first. But we're going to pick the top 3 scorers for all of us in the NBA Finals, which begin tonight. Okay?
It's big time.
All kind of suspense on where I'm going with that first pick.
Yep.
Okay?
I think the drama starts at 2.
Yeah, the kind of suspense the Jags had when Trevor was on the board.
Yeah,
very similar to that. So we got Loser Monday. You've got a Hammer Time coming up, NBA related. We'll talk some hoops after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Ever wonder how Dan and Jeff got hired at 1010XL?
They're never late, they don't complain, and they won't ask for raises.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Exactly why we got the job, friend.
The Drill.
I knew the myths were true.
Mornings on 1010XL.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-471-9773. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-471-9773. 800-471-9773. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-471-9773 or biglou.com. That's 800-471-9773 or biglou.com.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
With the first pick in the 2025 draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Duck Duck Rooter, the #1 plumbing, septic, and air conditioning contractor in Florida. Congratulations, Duck Duck Rooter. So tell us, how does it feel to be picked number one?
Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you need help with any plumbing, septic, or AC issue, just give us a call and relax. We'll send one of our first-round draft picks to tackle your problems today. DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com.
Listen all day as 1010XL gives you news, notes, and analysis of organized team activities as they get ready for the upcoming season. Our coverage of OTAs is hoisted by Heroes Lawn Care and Hurricane Grill and Wings.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Tyson Sound and Security has a house built right inside their showroom, showcasing complete home automation and security systems. You have to see it to believe it. This setup can recognize intruders who approach your door and alerts them to leave if there's a break-in. Keep your family safe with the most state-of-the-art technology. Tyson Sound and Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
A chipped windshield can turn into a big problem fast. Lauren Brooks here. Trust Novus Glass of Jacksonville for expert repair and replacement. Call 904-289-2905 for Novus Glass in Orange Park. 904-289-2905.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Hammer Time with Hayes.
Driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
I commend NBA Commissioner Adam Silver for trying to finally fix the All-Star game, which seemingly gets worse and worse with each passing year. But I'm fearful for his suggestion and where he believes the game is going starting in 2026. The idea of USA versus the world is intriguing from a fan standpoint, but as an American, I got to be honest, I'm a little worried. Are we going to get embarrassed in the All-Star game? Because and JJ, you can speak to this way better than I can, but if it's solely just two teams, international versus the USA, aren't we going to get destroyed in that?
We have more depth. But, I mean, starting five, and if it's an all-star format, I would be worried. I mean, the last, 6 or 7 MVPs in the NBA have all been non-American guys.
Great point. That's a great point.
And we'll see one tonight in SGA. He's actually Canadian.
Yeah, people don't realize SGA is from Canada. That's a great point.
And you've got Wemby and Jokic.
Yeah.
And Luka.
Giannis.
Embiid.
And wow, that's a good point.
I mean,
those are all like the most recent MVPs.
Is that maybe it's good for the global pursuit of the NBA, but is it great at home if you introduce a product in which the international team wins the All-Star game by 20 points?
What would make it fun, though, is
the Americans wouldn't want to lose.
It'd be competitive.
Yeah,
it might be competitive.
That would make it fun is they'd try to win.
We think. This is probably the only construct you could adapt that might make them play hard.
Unless you kidnap their families, and that might get them to play hard.
Great point. So, well said. We'll see what winds up happening. All right, speaking of the NBA, it's time for another Loser Monday. Hayes leads Loser Monday. He has not lost. JJ's only lost once the Players' Championship. I got back-to-back losses, the NCAA tournament and the PGA, and I hate Rory. So 0 losses for Hayes, 1 for JJ, 2 for me, which means I go first. Here we go. We draft players. Total points is all that matters when the series ends. I'm going first. Man, this was hard. Back and forth I went, Hayes. But I'm going to take Shea Gilgeous Alexander with the first pick.
Oh, the scoring leader of the NBA.
In the loser Monday draft. That's who I've got. JJ, you're on the clock.
Always nice when you can start with a guy scoring 30 a night.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go with Halliburton. I think he'll be the leading scorer on the Pacers.
All right, so Halliburton.
Oh, okay.
That's not where I thought you were going. Hayes, you have 2 picks now. Who do you like?
I'll take Jalen Williams, who I wouldn't be able to identify if he walked into the radio station, but hopefully in 2 weeks will be like a son to me.
Right.
And
Right.
Pascal Siakam.
Wow.
Is my 2, please.
Siakam, okay.
I'm going to go with Chet.
Okay. The Chet, so Holmgren is next. And as I did my value board, my very important value board, the first 5 were kind of easy, okay? Just so you know, the first 5 are, at least on mine. I don't know if you all saw it that way, but I thought the first...
I would agree.
Now it's getting real.
I thought the first 5 were kind of easy, and then it was going to get tough after that. So on my value, and I've got back-to-back picks here, I'm going to go Miles Turner with the next pick. And then with my final pick, I'm going to stay with the Pacers and go Aaron Nesmith.
Okay.
And,
all right.
And now, JJ, you are up.
With my last pick, I'm going to go with Lou Dort.
Okay.
Who's sort of like a 3-and-D specialist for them,
Lou
for
Dort.
OKC.
And 1 pick left for Hayes Carline.
In honor of the great Mike White, I will take Andrew Nebhard, please.
You know what?
Wow.
You got to take the guy you know, right? The one guy. So there you go. So
all right, good luck, boys.
So those are our
Good
picks.
luck.
I've got Gilgeous Alexander, Miles Turner, Aaron Nesmith. JJ's got Tyrese Halliburton, Chet Holmgren, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, who Hayes says he would not recognize, Pascal Siakam, and Andrew Nebhard. Those are the and by the way,
there's 2 Jalen Williams on the team.
I'm taking the one that scores the most points.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. Good luck to everybody all around. Those are our team. I did. So I did my very important value board today, and I said, okay, you're going to take Gilgeous Alexander. You know who the next 4 are going to be. Then you got to then you got to pick the 6th guy, and I got no idea.
I would have taken Turner at 6.
Yeah, would you take it?
Yeah.
I didn't know where to go, but I said I got to take the next 2.
Yeah, he's averaging 15 a game.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know.
So
Who would you have taken at number 2?
Who would I would take?
Hayes.
I would have taken Jalen Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually had I had Siakam 2 and Halliburton 4 on my board.
Okay.
So, but it didn't matter because I knew where the first 5
They
were
were
gonna
very I mean, it's almost like the difference between 2, 3, and 4 is really minuscule.
Yeah.
But
I'm just thinking Halliburton's got the ball in his hands a lot more, but Siakam has those games where he can go off, but he can also disappear.
I had Siakam 2.
Well, as soon as word reaches his camp that I picked him, he will disappear.
I had Siakam 2, Williams 3, and Halliburton 4, and then everybody had Holmgren 5, right? I would think.
I had Holmgren 5,
Yeah, I would think that.
And then I had Turner 6. I had Nebhard 7.
Yeah.
I had Hartenstein 8, who didn't get picked. And then I had Aaron
I
Nesmith
thought about
9.
taking Hardenstein.
Yeah.
I've just been burned with the injuries too much to
I
take
was wrong because I thought you were going to take Tyler Hero today.
Oh, I love that guy. Let me tell you. I mean, don't let a hangnail keep you out of the NBA Finals, Tyler.
That was a great moment. Oh, goodness.
We expect him back, for Game 1. He never played in the NBA Finals.
It never played. That was tremendous. That was one of the great moments of my life.
Nice going, Spolstra.
All right. As for the actual finals, JJ, storylines. Obviously, Gilgeous Alexander, the MVP, the best player in the league this year. But boy, the Pacers seem like this is 2 teams playing really well, right? I mean, this is the
Pacers probably the hottest team in the NBA.
Correct. I said this the other day. From a rating standpoint, it could be a disaster. Yeah, I mean, but as far as good basketball and teams playing well at the time, of course they're playing well at the time. That's why they're in the finals. But JJ, these are 2 teams this is a collision course a little bit, which makes it kind of fun, I think.
And the Pacers are fun. Like if you watched any of that Knicks series, they run. Like I don't care if the Knicks make a basket, they're throwing it to Siakam on the other end of the court. It was crazy. It's like they're throwing a jump ball. It was almost like a fade route half the time. So like they're going to be moving. Oklahoma City's defense is like really suffocating, man. So that's obviously the matchup to watch is Oklahoma City's defense. On the other side of the ball, it's a little less exciting because Gilgeous Alexander is going to just be trying to get to the line. That's what he does, and he's great at it. He's got a great mid-range game that you never see anymore. Like a guy taking a 2-point jumper.
Right.
You're going to see that a lot this series. But we have to have Indiana win tonight or Saturday, or this series is going to get bad. Like
they're
they
a 9.5
have to take
point underdog tonight.
Yeah, which is the
9.5
biggest.
points.
And overall, they're the biggest underdog since 2004 when it was that defensive Pistons team against the Lakers. And the Pacers did win that series, though.
Wow, 20 years. Pretty amazing stuff. So
I think because of Oklahoma City's youth, you can't discount Indiana winning the series. Like, you just don't. And
they haven't done it before.
They haven't done it before, and they're just so. I mean, their average age is like 24.7 or something. I mean, it's like they're
the
way
youngest
younger
team in the
than,
league, I believe.
They keep getting compared to the Warriors and that build. And but the Warriors, when they got to their first final, their average age was like 26 point something. So anyway, that'll be something to bear in mind.
And
Can Oklahoma City handle it? But so far, they've handled everything.
Quick last stat, which was crazy, the betting market. So like 70% of the bets have been on Indiana to win the series, but 90% of the money is on Oklahoma City.
How about that?
Yeah, so like a lot of the regular Joes are like throwing $5 or $10 because the odds are so crazy, but the big wigs are all betting on OKC to win.
The guys that know how to bet. A couple of NBA thoughts. Rick Pitino said he's absolutely not interested in the Knicks, nor should he be. He's past that's come and gone for him. But it did make me wonder, that's the team Billy D always wanted to coach. Has he done enough to get consideration, or because they've been ordinary under his watch, both Oklahoma City and now Chicago, that they'll do it like everybody else does and just hire some no-name assistant that nobody knows? What's your guess?
That's what I would think. I mean, can Donovan even get out of the contract?
Well, I don't even know. I mean, I don't.
But yeah, but I would think that would be met if they hired Billy Donovan. I'm guessing that the Knicks fans would completely lose their mind.
They'd be like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, because he's been. I hate that he's been ordinary, but he's been ordinary. I keep thinking. I still believe Billy Donovan will end his career as a college basketball coach. You feel that way still?
I do.
I think he's going to end his career as a college basketball coach. But I always thought the Knicks was the job he wanted. I always thought that was the job and now it's open and he's a coach. But I don't necessarily. I agree with you. If you're the Knicks, why would you want Billy Donovan, who's not been a very good NBA coach? Most of the college guys aren't. I mean, he's lasted longer than most of them lasted, but most of them haven't been. But it just ran through my mind that that's a job that back in the suit days when they all wore suits, I could see Billy. Couldn't you see Billy in the suit walking up and down the court?
MSG. Wasn't he like a stockbroker in New York for
he was.
6 months out of leaving Providence or something like that?
Well, he played for the Knicks for a little. The cup of coffee he got, wasn't it, with the Knicks?
Yeah. Because I think
I think his cup of coffee was with the Knicks, if I'm not mistaken. So it ran through my mind.
You know, the name I heard was Spoelstra.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Which would be he's the best coach.
How does that work in the NBA? Because in the NFL, you couldn't really do it
unless your contract's up. You know, I mean,
I'm sure that they'd have to pay the Heat something.
Yeah.
Or even trade somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, unless his contract's up, right? Which
it's not.
Yeah. How would the Heat ever let Eric Spoelstra's contract come to an end?
And Billy D did play for the Knicks, by the way.
Yeah, I thought he did. Final NBA thought. We'll be listening to Mike Breen tonight. It's Mike Breen, Richard Jefferson, and Doris Burke. That's the call.
Jeez.
But one thing Andrew Marchand wrote that I really do agree with is. Why? And I don't mind this team. I think this team's fine.
Oh, they're terrible.
Do you hate them?
Well, Breen's great. The other two are terrible.
But my question would be, why did they ever break up Van Gundy, Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson? I thought that was a fantastic team.
Totally agree.
And they ran all. I guess a couple years ago when they fired everybody. Remember when ESPN had the big firings? They fired Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. I thought those three of them were fantastic together.
I did too. Yeah. I will be watching this with earbuds in.
Yeah. So you really, does the other two really bother you?
I
haven't watched them.
Word on the street is Doris is out.
Yeah, which is
I saw that all over Twitter.
I haven't watched enough to. She doesn't bother me. I don't know if I think she's great, but I mean, I'm not turned off by her.
It doesn't feel like a big time game. When I hear Richard Jefferson and Doris Burke, I'm like, man, this is the freaking NBA Finals, dude.
Yeah, but good point. But I just wonder. If you have two that are that good, I mean, now in the Andrew Marchand story, and I didn't know this, he said the league was really annoyed with Jeff Van Gundy because he ripped the officials all the time. I didn't know that, but I thought it was a really good team. Final thought: where is Breen on the list of best play-by-players going in any sport?
I don't listen to it enough He's
really
he
good.
wouldn't get enough at bats to make my list. But when I watch, I like, I think he does a great job.
Yeah, I mean, he's at least in the conversation with the big three, isn't he?
I think this is his 20th finals or something.
Like that. And he's the Knicks play-by-play guy, and isn't he the Knicks guy too?
I'm not sure about that.
I think he does. I thought he did the Knicks.
He might.
I thought he did the Knicks. His day job, I thought, was the Knicks. I could be wrong about that, but I mean, Buck, Tirico, Nance.
Yeah, he works for MSG.
Yeah, I think he's a Knicks guy. But Buck, Tirico, and Nance, that's the big three probably. I got to believe Mike Breen's right there. You're right. It's hard to compare because he does the one sport the three of them don't do. But I got to believe he's as respected in his sport as those guys are in theirs.
Oh, he's absolutely.
Yeah, he's number one.
Very respected. Yeah, absolutely. He's great. They just need to give him two different or one different. Somebody, they've got to reform the analyst position.
And I've seen the same thing you did, JJ. That Doris Burke might not be on the team, but that they like Jefferson. Apparently, they like Richard Jefferson. So that's
what's sad is I love JJ Redick.
Yeah,
and he only did it for like a year and then got a job.
Not even a full year.
Yeah,
and same. Well, they hired Doc,
awesome.
They hired Doc Rivers in the raspy voice.
Yep.
And then he said because he's done coaching. He did it half the year and then took a coaching job.
Yeah.
JJ Redick said he was going to stay with it. He did it 3/4 of a year and took a coaching job. So maybe that's the problem. The good ones wind up coaching. So we'll see.
And real quick, he's no Bream, but Kevin Harlan on TNT.
It's so good.
Freaking great.
And you're right. And Kevin Harlan, by the way, I don't know that Sean McDonough isn't as good as anyone working. I think he is so good at so many sports.
Fantastic.
I mean, he's so good. But McDonough, Harlan, they're in that probably Kevin Burkhardt. They're in that next group that isn't as esteemed as Buck Nance and probably Tirico, but boy, they're really good. And you're right about Harlan. Harlan is
He's just as good on football too.
Yes,
Who's on Harlan's team for NBA?
Reggie Miller, right?
Yeah.
And
is that it? Harlan and Reggie Miller?
I think they have another guy. I can't drawing a blank, right? Because people were so pissed that Reggie Miller was doing the Knicks series.
I think in college basketball for the NCAA tournament, they had Harlan with Stan Van Gundy and Dan
that's
Bonner.
who it is.
And
Stan Van, yeah,
and Dan Bonner. I think that's who they did it for. Do you remember that? That's who the college was this year. So all right, we'll take a break. When we come back, let's say hello to my friend Greg McGarity. He's the executive director of the Gator Bowl, and he's very excited about the time slot they got, which is a very good one. We'll talk about that after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
You know how superheroes have these secret identities?
Is that girl? She's Lauren Brooks.
I'm 1/3 of an elite crime-fighting team backed by an anonymous millionaire.
On Helmets and Heels from noon to 2.
At your service.
On 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harold and Harold. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harold and Harold make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Get more Gators with Dan Hickett and me, Frank Frangie, on all things Gators on 1010XL Gators Podcast, with new episodes every Monday, brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, wherever you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beards has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beards now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beards can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol, Beards Diamonds, at St. John's Town Center.
You tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's 30th anniversary sale. Buy one window or patio door and get one 30% off. Financing options are available and this offer expires June 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Hickett here for my friends at Zero Res. They want to help you clean your home or business. Big summer savings with 3 rooms clean starting at $129 and 20% off your air duct cleaning. Call them 904-287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it. And send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
June is Men's Health Month, and here's your reminder to be proactive and get screened for early detection at Ackerman Cancer Center. Many cancer instances are largely preventable and treatable. So take steps now to minimize your risk factors at AckermanCancerCenter.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final lived up to the hype last night, and it sure was a tight matchup. The great one, Wayne Gretzky, even said on the telecast that it was the most fast-paced game he'd ever seen. After a 3-3 draw at the end of regulation, the Panthers took the Oilers down to the wire of overtime before a Panthers delay a game led an Oilers power play score by Leon Draisaitl with under a minute left to give Edmonton an early 1-0 series lead. Good news for Florida is that goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky is playing great in net right now with 42 saves last night. It looks like it's going to be a long series, so get ready for a long, hard-fought battle for the Stanley Cup, with Game 2 coming tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It's 85 degrees at 4:59 time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
And we welcome you back. We're trying to track down our friend Greg McGarity. The Gator Bowl has been announced now, the starting time. It'll be December 27th, which is a Saturday night, and it's on ABC, so it's not on cable. It's on over the air, which is good. I mean, obviously, that's what you want. No matter who you are, that's what you want. So we have not yet heard back from our friend Greg McGarity, but that's good news for the Gator Bowl. You know, it's tough. The bowl business is tough. We've had this conversation on a regular basis. It's tough. The bowl business, and we all know it's tough. But you scramble. You scramble for the best time slot you can get. You scramble for the best matchup you can get. You can't control the latter part of that until the football season is off and running and well underway. But I would think the airtime, I mean, Saturday night, and you said there are some NFL games that day, but it's still a pretty good slot, I believe.
It is a good slot. And, again, anytime you're prime time on ABC on a Saturday, I think that's you got to be happy with that. But they will have some serious competition. And looking at what the NFL has for that's week 17 of the regular season, there are 5 games that do not have a kickoff time, but they're wedged between Thursday night and Sunday at 1. So I'm assuming these are all going to be Saturday games, unless they're going to play maybe one on a Friday as well that week. But I would assume these 5 games are Saturday games. 3 of them are not great games, but the 2 that could certainly be put into prime time, Ravens Packers and Texans Chargers, are 2 really intriguing games there on a Saturday. So my guess is, if I had to guess, one of those will be a 4:00 and one of those will be a 7:30 kind of start. But again, I mean, it's not like you can't watch a couple games at once, particularly now with the way the world works. You can multi-view a lot of things, and so I mean, again, prime time on a Saturday night, a couple days after Christmas, I would think they should have great ratings.
Yeah, and I like that. And I'll say this too. And Greg and I've had this talk. We've had this talk when he sits in here with us on Thursdays. Look, it can be a challenge. I mean, it's the bowl world, the bowl business is as challenging as it really has ever been. And to their credit, they've continued to find a way to kind of make it work. And I applaud them. So JJ, let us know if we can contact Greg. He's going to join us for a few minutes. Coming up a little bit later.
It will be interesting with the NIL contracts if the language put into them stipulates that, to earn your monthly stipend in December, you've got to play in the bowl game. Or if colleges are not going to force that onto players, because that's the other thing that you're having to worry about now is the opt-outs. But you can also make a case that these are now professional athletes. A lot of these guys are making, several $100,000, some in the millions. And if you're going to pay that, then shouldn't the athlete need to play in every game that they're healthy enough to play in? So be interesting to see how that'll work for the bowl games that are outside the playoff.
Yeah. So it really is. So we'll see. And by the way, we got the news yesterday. We didn't talk about it a lot. You talked about it in headlines that we are looking at Atlanta and Tampa for Florida, Georgia for 2 years. How do you think that'll feel? What's it going to feel like to you?
Well, it'll feel incredibly weird and awkward to see Florida, Georgia at a neutral site that is not Jacksonville. Right. So I think because they've got the contract for 28 and beyond. What is it? I think 2028 through 2033.
Right.
So because of that, it's easier to stomach, because there's no real direct threat. But I mean, we've never seen it, because the last time this happened, obviously it was home and home, because the dollars just hadn't exploded in college football like they have now in 2025. So I understand it financially why the schools want to do the same format, just go to 2 different cities. But it'll feel weird. It certainly will feel weird. But at least we know the long-term future of the game when the Jaguars open the Stadium of the Future in 2028. The Florida-Georgia game will be here, and will be here for several years beyond that. And my guess is you're right. It'll be here for 40 more years beyond that.
Yeah, and to that end, I said this yesterday to you during headlines. I'll say it again. I think the good news is that when they went home and home, when they went to two more neutral sites rather than home and home, that takes home and home off the table now for the long haul. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
right. We thought that's right.
Yeah.
Now we feel that way.
That'll never happen, which is good. Yeah, absolutely. So, what about you? Will it be weird? Will you go to Atlanta or will you go to Tampa just to?
Here's what I would think. Because of Jaguar responsibilities, probably won't be able to.
Yeah.
But the better question for me was if I wasn't doing that, and I went to 34 in a row, Florida Georgia games or something like that, 31 in a row, I think, before I started calling Jaguars games. So if I was in that situation, I don't know. I don't know if I'd go. I don't know if the being Jacksonville guy, I might not go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't want, even though, again, I'll say it again, even though them having it, I think for me, the fact that this not home and home certifies we'll have it for the long haul, but it's certainly interesting to see. All right, let's say hello to Greg McGarity. Fire it up, JJ.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Greg McGarity is the executive director of the Gator Bowl. You hear him every Thursday on our show during football season. He joins us now with big news and good news. Greg, a neat starting time for you. Saturday night at 7:30 on ABC. You got to be excited about that.
Absolutely. I think it's the first time we've been on the major network in almost 2 decades. So
wow.
I think the last time we played, it might have been CBS with Bobby Bowden's last game. So ESPN's not bad, obviously, but to be on ABC's takes it to another level.
Greg, how does that go? Do you negotiate? Do you just get told? Are you involved in the conversations when they pick the times and the networks? Take us through kind of the process.
Well, I think when the Jag schedule came out and we knew that they're either going to play January 3rd or 4th, so that kind of knocked January the 2nd out. So it opened up some other dates, but with your friends at ESPN, you just communicate with them on what you'd like to do, preferred times, and so that was our preferred time that we had really advocated for, and so we were lucky enough to have it. I think the main thing was to be on ABC, and we would have been okay with 3:30 on Saturday, but to get the primetime game was a little unexpected and a great surprise.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the Jaguars are at the Colts on December 28th, so you don't have to worry about that logistical issue. So the Gator Bowl will be Saturday night. Greg, give us a refresher. Is it still SEC, ACC?
Yes, and this is the last year of that agreement, and I think it'll carry on, but it's the last year with our contract with ESPN because everybody's waiting to see what happens in the college football playoff. And then the non-college football playoff bowls will all be decided once that's been decided. So, we're sort of the last at the end of the rope here as far as pecking order, but a lot of bowls are just waiting to see what happens to be able to move forward in 26 and beyond.
What's your guess? Will you still be SEC, ACC? What do you? I mean, I got to believe that's what you want, right?
I think so because Disney has such an investment with the ACC network and the SEC network, and certainly they want to keep those teams in their underneath their tent, and they don't want Fox or CBS or anybody else to have that. So I think we're in a great position, great relationships with both conferences. So I think it's just a matter of working out some details and finding out what the landscape is once the decision's made by the college football playoff.
All right, back to this year. The game's going to be on the 27th, 7:30 on ABC. You said you obviously you're very connected. You're connected at ESPN. You're connected at both conferences. So you have the right people in place. But how does the ABC thing happen? Did ABC just have those windows? And when you jockeyed for the 27th, when you got that date, you knew you would have ABC? Because I didn't realize it's been 2 decades since it hasn't been on cable. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Disney's going to have the game.
Right.
And you sort of make some assumptions that since you hadn't been on ABC that you'd be on either, probably ESPN where we've been in the past. But I think the strong ratings that we've had over the last few years sort of justified them placing us, on ABC, on the major network. So I think that had a lot to do with it. It's always a good game. You've got the SEC, which is really the anchor conference for college football as far as viewing goes. So yeah. I think those things played into it. And after our game, they've got the Alamo Bowl game, which I think is another SEC Big 12 matchup.
Yeah, good point. Fair enough. All right, before we let you go, what's going on with the Gator Bowl these days? You guys are always busy. You're very busy with your charitable arm. I know that. Are these busy times? You getting? I know it's 6 months away, but what goes on in the Gator Bowl offices these days, Greg?
Well, we are literally moving out of our offices in the east side of the stadium permanently.
Okay.
And we're moving over to some space over at WJCT. They've been great to work with, and they have several other nonprofits located in that facility. So next Friday will be the day that we occupy the new spaces over there. And so we've been going through 30 years of Gator Bowl history. and parsing through that information and organizing it. So we've been boxing and taping and doing so much the last month to get ready for this move.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I heard they're rebuilding that stadium down there. You had to go somewhere, right, Greg?
Exactly. It's a mess right now. Not in the Seton Bowl, but boy, everywhere else is a mess.
Well, Greg, congratulations again on your starting time. One more time, the Gator Bowl is announced today, December 27th at 7:30. That is when there'll be kickoff, SEC versus ACC. Greg, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Guys, thank you so much.
All right, Greg McGarity checking in, and good for him. Again, the Gator Bowl is is a big deal to me. I grew up watching it. I grew up proud of it. The bowl world has changed a lot, and the Gator Bowl has stood strong, and I'm proud of him, and I appreciate him doing it. Let's take a break. Hayes has headlines on the other side. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Perfect passes.
Great pass.
Thrilling moments.
Did that just happen?
Winning plays.
Touchdown!
Your radio home for play-by-play. 1010XL.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coating. No massive overhead means top prices on top quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios too.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser start the week by giving the ball to the best back in Duval.
And off, Fred Taylor.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
Feeling the Florida heat? Make sure your car's AC is ready with help from Big Chief Tire. Frank Frangie here. Right now, get $50 off all AC services at any of their 5 Jacksonville locations. Whether it's a quick recharge or a full repair, their expert technicians will keep you cool and comfortable on the road. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your AC service today and take advantage of this limited one-time offer. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
The Poker Atlas Tour is blazing its way through Best Bet St. Augustine now through June 15th. Get in on the action with 7 poker events, highlighted by Event 1 with an impressive $100,000 guarantee, and the $600 No Limit Hold'em title event, boasting a $200,000 guaranteed prize pool. Join us at Best Bet St. Augustine for the Poker Atlas Poker Tour. Head to bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
It's a battle of football champions as your Sharks take on the Arizona Rattlers. Don't miss any of the action this Saturday, June 7th. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try the new Family 4-Pack. 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700.
It's a battle of football champions as your Sharks take on the Arizona Rattlers. Don't miss any of the action this Saturday, June 7th. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try our Family Fun Pack. 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700.
Go Sharks!
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
Hi, folks. It's Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee & Kate's Glass. Those beautiful custom glass shower enclosures, maybe a new mirror, a glass tabletop. They can even replace your foggy or cracked glass without having to replace the whole window. Lee & Kate's is local. They're family-owned. They've been a part of our community since 1926. Boy, they've taken care of me, including our brand-new offices at Walk-Off Charities. They did a great job. I promise they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
Want a simple way to boost your company's image without a big renovation? A fresh paint job in your brand's colors can increase recognition up to 80%. At Performance Painting, we help companies stand out with clean, on-brand finishes that impress clients and energize employees. From color consultations to low-odor coatings that won't disrupt operations, we've got you covered. Visit performance-painting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. We certainly appreciate our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, let's get it started with Jaguars OTA number 10. A lot of situational work this week. It's been good to see a lot of red zone work and some good moments for the passing game. Trevor and Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Brenton Strange.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my favorite thing to watch is that wide receiver room with between Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter. Who else, JJ?
I believe his name is Diami Brown.
Okay, between those.
Is it Diami or Diami?
I'm sorry I left him out.
Yeah, thank you. Well, but JJ and I
You'll
were going
be sorry.
JJ's kind of my agent as I'm Diami's agent, okay? So we're kind of doing that together. But no, seriously, I'm watching.
I know you got his touchdown call ready to go.
Oh, there's no question. There's no question. So
Boom goes the Diami.
Cannot tell you what it is, but that would be a good one. You know, boom. You know what? Let me run. Boom goes the Diami.
The one just got scrapped.
Very nice. But yeah, but that'll be to me, Trevor with that receiving core is going to be a lot of fun. And it really is. And you're right. I'm kind of getting to the point now, though, as much as I love going out there and I love watching football, we all do. We all get excited about going out there. But I'm now, and we'll have a couple weeks, all through good month to refresh beforehand. But now I'm ready for pads and some hitting. You know, we've seen enough of, as Jeff Lagerman calls it, the underwear Olympics. You know.
Yeah, without a doubt. Liam Cohen talked after practice and was asked about Trevor Lawrence's rhythm and footwork and had a really interesting answer.
Yeah, I think, when you look at maybe the first few days of OTAs and really even phase 2 that we were out here on the grass, I think his footwork has drastically improved. I think just the rhythm of playing the position in every system is different, right? The drop of a quarterback is very similar to a dance. And so each song, right, has a different rhythm. Each play has a different rhythm. Each systems have different rhythms. And so continuing to develop that for him so that, we talk about footwork so much because when the game is being played, we know it's lived in the gray. But we're trying to create black and white lines for footwork, for reads, for timing, because when the things start moving, oftentimes you have to revert back to your fundamentals, your footwork, your timing. And so I think he's taken a step in that area, as well as just the overall operation. Like, that's what I've really looked for him in this time, has been, okay, really focusing on his lower half and his footwork, and then also just running the show. Like, I'm not really judging, does he make every single throw right now? Is every single ball perfectly accurate right now? Is he operating the offense at a high level? Yes, he is right now.
That's fantastic to hear.
Yeah, and I think those things are really important to Liam. My guess is Liam Cohen, you've always made the point that this staff, this regime is kind of forward thinking, that it's today's, not an antiquated or dated one. I would think footwork, mechanics, all of which lead to the analytics with which they now measure quarterbacks. It's a big deal to Liam Cohen. I really believe that. So it'll be interesting to see the development of Trevor Lawrence as we move forward.
Star receiver Brian Thomas Jr. coming off that electric rookie campaign met with reporters after practice today and said he's excited to embrace more of a leadership role. You couldn't ask for a better player in person than Brian Thomas Jr. For him to be this humble, what else can I do? Now I can bring some leadership in as a veteran. He was third in the NFL in receiving yards as a rookie, and I think he's a quiet guy, but it's fantastic to hear that leadership is a big of big importance to him.
And not only that, but all this attention to Travis Hunter, it would be very easy to say, wait a minute, I was one of the best rookies in the league last year. He doesn't care at all. He loves it. He's supporting them. He says they compete, they battle, they want to both be good. You're right. Brian Thomas Jr., great point. In addition to being a really good player, it really fits that culture they're trying to build.
Speaking of Travis Hunter, he played offense again today. So I believe the total was, of the 10 OTAs, 7 on offense, 3 on defense. So we'll see, obviously, next week at the mandatory minicamp, the 3 days, how it goes from there. But it's been fun watching it. We'll enjoy seeing him on defense. We'll get to that. I mean, obviously, we're going to be out there for training camp, and training camp, we're out there every day. So, so we will see it. But it's been fun just watching him as a receiver. I mean, it's pretty.
He's fun. He's fun to watch. He's like, he's watching him run, watching him change directions, watch how fluid he is. Really has been fun. And back to your breakdown, look, from the minute they drafted him, we got the impression he's a full-time receiver and a defensive back when they need him. I'll say it again. I think he's going to be in the game on get off the down or get off the field downs, third down, fourth down. I think he's going to be on the field in red zone circumstances. I think he's going to be on the field in late game circumstances. I think when you're going to see him on, my guess is third downs, fourth downs, red zones, late in the game. I think that's when you're going to see Travis Hunter play defense. That's my guess until proven otherwise.
One of the biggest highlights at the practice today for all of us was Wayne Weaver attending. It was great seeing the former Jaguars owner, who will always remain one of the most pivotal figures in city history. The 90-year-old Weaver is the reason Jacksonville is an NFL city, guiding the franchise from its inception until selling it to Shad Khan in 2011.
I got to talk to Wayne for a little. Did you get to say hello to him?
I didn't,
I got to talk to Wayne for a minute or two. He looked great, and his brother Ron Weaver was out there as well, and they were there with Paul Hart.
He had a big group around him.
He really
so, yeah,
did.
It was wonderful seeing him.
I had not seen him in a long time. It was good to say hello to him, and I appreciate again our friend Paul Harden, who's one of the team attorneys who brought him out there, and it was great seeing Wayne. It really was great seeing Wayne Weaver.
Let's get to around the NFL. Anthony Richardson, stop me if you've heard this before, won't participate in minicamp next week as he deals with shoulder soreness. Colts coach Shane Steichen went as far as to say he's not sure if Richardson will be ready for training camp. This is dealing with an AC joint that Richardson has already had surgery on.
Look, you knew one of the reasons they went and got Daniel Jones was because Richardson had underperformed, but who are we kidding? The other reason Hazy went and got Daniel Jones is for fear that Richardson would not be on the field 16 times or 17 times, as it were. So I hate it for Anthony. He's a nice kid, but I'm not surprised. I'm not, and he's got guys that get hurt a lot have to prove they're not always going to be the guy that gets hurt a lot.
Absolutely. We touched on this earlier, but it is over. Aaron Rodgers is signing with Pittsburgh and will be at mandatory minicamp next week.
Yeah, the worst kept secret in the NFL. We'll see how good he is. I don't expect all of a sudden, this isn't Peyton Manning showing up with the Broncos and the Broncos winning the Super Bowl. I don't think that's what this is. I think his time has come and gone. I think the Steelers have a good, not great team, closer to. The Steelers have a good team. They're closer to average than they are to great, though. You know that, and I think it'll be a story that'll get a lot of attention early on, but it'll be a non-starter by midseason.
The bad vibes I'm feeling about the Detroit Lions this season continue to get magnified. This came out today. Lions receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown says he underwent off-season knee surgery, but expects to be full strength by training camp. Boy, it feels like the Lions to me, losing all the coaching talent,
right?
Players coming off injury, off-season surgery. They're high on my list for a perceived elite team that could have a struggling season.
Well, number one, they haven't been elite very much in their existence. So to see them fall back to that wouldn't be shocking. I think they're going to be okay from a personnel standpoint and a health standpoint. But the question I'll ask is, Ben Johnson was all the rage, man. All the rage. People thought he might come here. People thought he might wind up in Vegas. People thought he might wind up in New England. There's all these talks, all this conversation about he's the next great thing as a head coach. Well, if that's correct, how good will the Lions offense be now that he's gone? That's the big question. Is of all the stuff that has happened in their offseason, the big one was they lost the offensive coordinator that everybody thinks is so good. So we'll see how that affects them.
Yeah, and the defensive coordinator as well.
Right.
So
That's right.
A lot of turnover there on that staff. So we'll see. Let's get to college football. The Gator Bowl has a date. The 81st edition will take place Saturday, December 27th at 7:30 p.m. on ABC.
Yeah, a lot of people think, I don't care about bowls anymore because there's all these teams in the playoff. And well, I do care about it, and the people in Jacksonville care about it. And Greg McGarity, who's done such a good job running that, Rick Catlett did a wonderful job before him. Those dates matter to them. And they're on Saturday night at 7:30 on ABC. And, yeah, are they going against the NFL? Sure. Are they down the pecking order a bit in the SEC and ACC? Sure. But that's a big deal for the Gator Bowl, and congratulations to them.
Let's get to the NBA. The final start tonight. Game 1, the Thunder favored at home by 9.5 points over the Pacers.
It'll be very interesting to see if the Thunder roll them as expected. Are they the next Warriors, as you suggest, or Spurs, as I have? Or are they the latest team that look like they're around forever and fade just like the Bucks and the Suns and the Nuggets and everybody else who looked like they were going to be around for a while and then weren't? So that's the storyline for me. If they win it, how long does it last?
No doubt about it. Let's get it to golf. Rory McIlroy talked yesterday about his PGA disappointment heading into the RBC Canadian Open, and so far it is not going well for McIlroy, who has won this event multiple times. He shot a 1 over today. That's tied for 121st place. Thor Bjorn Olsen is leading at 9 under, shot a 61 today.
Yeah, I'm a Rory fan. I like Rory. A lot of people don't. I do. I like Rory. But I didn't love his explanation as to why he didn't do media last week. He said at one point he finished late, and another point. But then he said he was annoyed that the thought about his driver getting rejected, that was supposed to be confidential, and it came out. But the fact that Scotty's got rejected did not come out. I think he was reaching a little bit. I thought he was. I thought it was a little bit petulant. I'm a Rory
Scotty
fan.
also openly admitted that to the media.
Yeah, correct. And I thought it was a little bit petulant. I'm a big Rory fan, but he should have done the media last week. He really should have.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's get it to the NHL. The Stanley Cup final started last night. Edmonton beats visiting Florida 4-3, coming back in overtime. Take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Florida had a 3-1 lead in that game, and they're as good as they are, they don't lose very often. So I'm not a hockey guy, but it's hard not to take a peek at that series.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun watching it. I mean, a lot of great hockey on both sides, obviously. But yeah, we'll see if the Panthers can bounce back. Like to kind of what JJ was saying about the Pacers, like you just get one of these first two and you feel great about it. So if Florida can take care of game 2, then the defending champs will go back feeling very good about getting home ice. Let's get to Major League Baseball because the Atlanta Braves are certainly a story today. Atlanta took a 10-3 lead into the top of the 9th this afternoon. before giving up 7 runs to lose to Arizona 11-10 after losing last night by 1 run, leaving the bases loaded in the 8th and 9th inning. Atlanta is 27-34.
Yeah, I asked JJ this earlier. I can't remember the last time the Braves were 7 games under 60 some odd games in. And the problem with that is, even if you resuscitate your season a bit, there's so many good teams in the National League, 2 very good ones in your own division, and that West is loaded. Look, even the Central's better than people thought it would be. So, yeah, it doesn't look like the postseason is in Atlanta's future this year.
Give us a Walk-Off Charities auction update. A lot of great items there, and which ones have caught your eye?
I appreciate you asking. Certainly the ones that I think people around here are going to be the most interested in. You go to walkoffcharities.com. The auction site comes right up. 4 club seats to the Jaguars opener. 4 club seats to Florida, Georgia. Trevor Lawrence autographed jersey. Brian Thomas Jr. autographed football. And then Tim Tebow autographed mini helmet. I could go on and on. We have some really good. Go on there and look for yourself. Mike Tyson autographed boxing gloves. A suite at a Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp game. There's a lot of really good items on there. Every one you bid on, every one you purchase helps a little kid play baseball that otherwise couldn't. So walkoffcharities.com. Thank you for asking, Hayes.
Sure thing.
Walkoffcharities.com. I hope you'll go to the auction and give a kid a chance to play baseball with some really, really cool memorabilia.
Let's get into pop culture. Netflix announces the 5th and final season of Stranger Things will be split into 3 volumes. The first comes out on November 26th. The second is set for Christmas, and the finale airs on New Year's Eve. So not ideal timing if you're a football fan. But when you're not watching football, Stranger Things will be there for their final season.
I've never watched it.
It's phenomenal.
But apparently it is like really, not even for like psychos like you and Taylor Dahl, apparently it's really well done across the board.
Yeah, and it's really, it's got some horror to it, but it's,
right.
It's not scary. It's not like some of these, horror films that we've seen. So I would recommend it if you can at least tolerate a little bit of that genre. Then and if you're a child of the 80s, you're going to love it because it's setting, and they do a magnificent job of setting that scene. We will get you out on our musical note of the day, an important anniversary in rock and roll. On this date, back in 1964, the Rolling Stones played their first ever show in the United States. The concert took place in San Bernardino, California. Unbelievable that 61 years later, the band is still going strong and entertaining audience. Think about this. Their first show in this country was on this date in 1964.
Wow.
I saw them in concert in Orlando last year.
How about that? And sounded just like this.
And they were great.
Sounded just like this. Pretty amazing stuff.
This is Honky Tonk Women.
Great. One of the great longtime bands of all time. Probably my favorite Stones song, as a matter of fact. Honky Tonk Women, and the great Mick Jagger in his 80s and still going strong. Well done as always. Back to wrap up the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
NASCAR racing the Fire Keepers Casino 400 at the Michigan International Raceway on Sunday. It'll be 200 laps around the 2-mile oval. Kyle Larson, the betting favorite to take the checkered flag, at plus 550. He has 3 wins this season. Denny Hamlin is at plus 600. Ryan Blaney and William Byron both plus 750. Tyler Reddick, who won at Michigan last season, plus 800. The NHL Stanley Cup Finals continuing Friday. Game 2 between Edmonton and Florida. Edmonton leading the series after a Game 1 victory and are minus 130 to capture Game 2. Florida plus 110, and the over-under goal total Friday night is at 6.5. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Attention business owners and property managers. Hurricane season is right around the corner. Is your property ready? Call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter for expert storm drain cleaning and hydrojetting. Our powerful VACCON one truck clears the way so your trains flow freely when the rain hits. Call 904-862-6769 today to schedule your service and protect your property before the storms start rolling in. Duck Duck Rooter, your trusted name in storm drain maintenance. Visit us at duckduckrooter.com. We are a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me, if you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
E.T. here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days than bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find Scratch Kitchen that always comes in the clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktail shots, and more. Come on, somebody.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mokama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mokama magic is what it's all about. Mokama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mokama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
It's kind of like his own private locker, and you're his guest.
Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Hayes Blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime sports cards and collectibles update. We have dozens of autographed jerseys to choose from at Showtime. NFL, NBA, and MLB. Some of the most recognizable stars, Jags receiver Brian Thomas Jr., Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr., and Steph Curry. All items at Showtime come with a seal of authenticity. Showtime, sports cards and collectibles. Update your collection.
Hey folks, Frank Frangie here reminding you the 4th annual Dailies Walk-Off Charities Golf Classic is right around the corner. We sure appreciate our friends at Dailies, always making it possible, and appreciate so many of you who have played over the years. This year, we're back at Deer Creek Country Club Monday, June 9th at 9 a.m. with tons of prizes, auction items, and an awful lot of fun. You'll even meet some of our young walk-off players. Just go to walkoffcharities.com for more information. Can't wait to see you on June 9th at the Dailies Walk-Off Charities Golf Classic.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beard's now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beards can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol, Beards Diamonds, at St. John's Town Center.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where have we been today in the program? We certainly talked Jaguar football. You heard from Eric Armstead. Hayes caught up with him in a Hayes Carline one-on-one. We talked a little bit about the final OTA. Now, next week there will be 3 mini camps, and then they will break until training camp later on in the summer in July. Greg McGarity stopped by, the executive director of the Gator Bowl, to talk about they've got their time slot Saturday night on December 27th. I won't be able to be there, be on the road with the Jags. We play the Colts, but good for them. It'll be on ABC. First time in 2 decades. I didn't realize that it's been on the network. We talked about that as well. And we certainly got into the fact that the NBA Finals, we did our Loser Monday pick. So we all picked 3 players. Whoever scores the least gets to go to Bono's. They've gotten to know me pretty well there, so I count on being there and bringing you guys all.
Yeah, you got to become a big SGA fan.
Yeah, yes, I am. Oh, always have been.
Right.
But even
so,
more.
who are your 3? SGA.
My 3 are
Turner and Neesmith.
Yeah, Gilgeous Alexander, Turner, and Neesmith. Okay. JJ's got Halliburton, Holmgren, and Dort.
Lou Dort. Yeah.
And you've got Williams, who you know well, Siakam. And Andrew and Nebhard. And, of course, by the way, in other news, we were talking about during the break, the Braves, after blowing the gigantic lead, they're bringing back Craig Kimbrough.
I'm sure that'll fix things.
But I do have some other news. They've also, I just heard this, they've reached out to Gene Garber, Mark Wohlers, and John Rocker.
Yes. What's Rick Mailer up to?
Rick Camp is on his way back, I think. So,
hey, give me Rafael Ramirez.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I believe Julio Franco is coming off the bench for pinch hitting duty.
Oh, my goodness. Again, bringing Craig Kimbrough back. The best part about it is just to see the way he stands right before the leaned over with the arms outstretched. I'm looking forward to seeing
last time we saw him, I believe he was in Baltimore getting shelled last year.
He was shelled somewhere, so there you go. You mentioned the 82-83 Braves. I love those Braves. The light blue uniforms.
Teams were great.
The light blue uniform.
Yeah, you'd hope Dale Murphy hit a home run, and you knew they were going to lose like 9-4.
But in 82 and 83, they were pretty good. Yeah. Remember 82? They won the division.
88 wins, 89 wins.
Yeah, 82. Do you remember the team?
I don't really remember that. I think by the time I started paying attention to them, they were lousy.
In 82 and 83, JJ, you obviously weren't born, but you know the story of those teams. Joe Torre managed them, and they were pretty good. You've heard the stories of those teams, right?
I mean, not really. I don't know too much about them.
Brett Butler, Clyde Washington, Murphy, Horner.
I know
Chris
they went
Chambliss.
to the NLCS one year.
That's right. Yeah. They I think one year they started 12-0. Do you know that?
Oh, wow.
Was it 82 or 83? They started like 12-0. They started 12-0 one of those 2 years. I think it was 12. I mean, I think it was 12-0. And we were all thinking, and they'd been terrible until then.
Yeah, 82.
They started 12 and we're like, what in the world? What are we doing? They started 12-0 and
13-0.
13-0. Okay.
As a kid that was an avid baseball card collector, so Don Russ used to do this thing called the Diamond King.
Yeah.
And it would like highlight one player from every team, and the artist would do a really cool portrait of that player. And so, and this is Dale Murphy he may have even been moved on by this point to Philly or whatever. But so the Braves were so bad that it was always like a running joke of who's going to be the Diamond King.
Right.
Like Rick Mailer was the Braves Diamond King one year. Like Zane Smith was the Braves Diamond King one year. So like Murphy got it in 84, 85, something like that. But it was bad.
Well, I can tell you though, the 82 team, it was Brett Butler led off, Glenn Hubbard, Clyde Washington hit third, Murphy hit fourth, Horner hit fifth, Chris Chambliss hit sixth, Bruce Benedict hit seventh, Rafael Ramirez hit eighth. That was a team. I remember. That's when the cable thing started. Mm-hmm. So everybody watched them.
Yeah.
Even if you're a Pirates fan or whatever, here comes the WTBS, and everybody could name that team. I could name all the starting pitchers. I mean, so I remember, and they were pretty good. I actually went. I know I've told you the story. I went to watch Florida USC in Los Angeles in '83, and the Braves were still in first place. They were in the West back then.
Mm-hmm.
The Braves were in first place. So a buddy of mine and I went out there. We saw all 3 Braves-Dodgers games, and we saw. You'll appreciate this story. We saw all 3 Braves-Dodgers games. We saw the Florida USC game where they tied, where they wound up tying out there. And we tried to get in to see a taping of One Day at a Time and could not get tickets. 100% true story.
That's great.
Tried to get in to see. That was like the highlight of the trip. Okay?
Valerie, I'm coming.
Well, because if I'd have gotten in,
yeah,
my life would have changed. Her life would have changed.
Eddie Van Halen's life would have changed.
His life would have changed.
Wolfgang Van Halen's life
would have never come around.
Never happened.
So that's what we missed out on.
How about that?
Could not get tickets.
How the dominoes fall.
Yeah, could not get tickets. So we went to the baseball and the football. Yeah. You know, I mean, so you have to have goals, Carline. Okay.
Yeah.
I had very steep goals back then.
So they just were full. Like you just couldn't get in.
Could not get in. We tried to get in.
That?
So now, being the preparation sort that I was, I think we started trying to get tickets like Friday, or Thursday, like they had one. But there was a day of taping.
Yeah.
And even though it was in the summer, there was a day of taping.
Well, I commend you for your effort.
Again, the world would have been different.
Yeah,
the world would have all been different. So, but was not able to get in.
So I'm reading about that Gator game.
Yeah.
You guys had a 6-point lead in the final seconds.
Late hit on Tony Lilly. Do you see that in your story?
Sean Salisbury incomplete on 4th down. So it seemed. Florida was flagged for having 12 men on the field.
Oh, I thought it was a late hit. It wasn't a late hit?
No, giving the Trojans 15 yards and a 1st down. Well, this is from the Gator website, but how would they get 15 yards?
I think it was a late hit on Tony Lilly.
More likely, yes.
Yeah, late hit on Tony Lilly. And
I'm gonna have a word with Chris Harry about this article.
I was on the field and I threw my papers up into the air out of anger.
But they missed the bad snap on a PAT attempt.
They would have won. Right. Florida beat them in 82. Went out there to sweep them in 83 in the home and home. Sean Salisbury was the USC quarterback. Florida led the game. I'm pretty sure it was a late hit on Tony Lilly on a guy named Tim White was the receiver. Timmy White was the receiver. Incomplete pass, and Lilly hit him late. And, really late. You couldn't even argue that.
Yeah, so back then, they didn't kill him.
No.
Close as they do today.
It was a late hit on – it was not 12 men on the field. It was a late hit on Tony Lilly. They kept the drive alive. Okay.
Bobby Raymond kicked 4 field goals that
had
day.
like 7 sacks, or was that the Gainesville game?
That was the Gainesville game.
Tony
that was
Lilly
the year
he forced 3 fumbles that day and had a sack.
Yeah,
safety Tony Lilly.
Yeah, and then he hit the guy late. Yeah, he kept USC in the game. So I'm telling you that was I was there watching 3 Braves games against the Dodgers, 1 Gator game against USC, and no trips to see One Day at a Time. That was my trip to Los Angeles. So there you go. So
I will say
going for you.
It's a great story. It's a great road trip.
Oh, it was a great roadie.
I'm so glad we don't have ties anymore in college football.
I am too.
I mean,
that was
of
dumb.
all the things
ties
they've
were
done, ties were awful.
Yeah, I still don't like ties in the NFL. I know if I don't. And now that the overtime's only at 10 minutes, you can have some ties. I don't like ties.
I don't like that either.
Hey, one more thing before we say hello to Rick Ballou. Have you seen the ads for the Owen Wilson golf?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching.
That's going to be. It's called Stick. I think that's going to be. I think it's. Does it start today?
I think it's out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's out.
Yeah.
Now
I don't know if they do like 1 episode a week, or if you can watch everything.
It's from the producers of Ted Lasso, so I'm guessing they release them once in a while. But I'm looking forward to that one.
I am too.
I think that apparently Owen Wilson plays this a washed up golf professional that wife left him, and now he's a caddy or something. So anyway, I don't look forward to many things. I don't watch a lot of TV, but that one's going to be pretty good.
It's got some good buzz. I have hope that it'll be a really good summer distraction.
I think it's probably on Apple because it's the Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
it's from the Ted Lasso.
And Lasso was always week to week, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you couldn't wait to watch it.
Right.
Wait till the next week.
My guess is this will be that too.
Yeah,
but,
Apple TV.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to giving it a shot, and I've got high hopes.
This is the time of year, by the way, you watch stuff. There's usually. There's so many great series I know you guys watch and we talk about it. I just never get to them for whatever reason.
We're like in a lull. We really we watched that 4 seasons, which I would highly recommend. Yeah. But it's short. It's only 8 episodes and it's 30 minutes long, so it doesn't take very long.
Watch it pretty quick.
Yeah, but we really don't have anything right now that we're like locked into.
Matt Hayes is trying to get me on Mobland.
Okay.
which is on Paramount Plus. Because I'm sort of in your boat. I'm stuck. We don't have anything right now. And like Frank said, this is the time of year when I'm like, hey, baby, watch whatever you want. Like being the good guy, knowing that.
I mean, Monday night spoken for, Thursday night spoken for, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
That's you're watching football.
Yeah, and this is the time of year, too, that baseball starts at 6:40. And now with the baseball games all being fast.
Over by 9.
By 9 o'clock, they're over.
Right.
So you got. So I need something to watch. So there's that. All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Rick Ballou, you were out at that final OTA today.
I was.
What jumped off the page for you there, bro?
It was a lot of fun out there today. They just seem to be getting better. I thought it was another fairly balanced day. The Brian Thomas Jr. probably had his best effort so far, and it was really watching some defensive backs. You look at a guy like Buster; he gave up some early touchdowns, and he comes back late and makes a really nice play on Brenton Strange. So, the offense looks good, the defense doesn't. The defense looks good, the offense doesn't. It's always hard when you got 90 guys out there running around, but I think they got to be pretty happy about the 10 OTAs they had.
Yeah, I think so too. So three mini camps next week, and then they break for the summer, and then it's going to be here before you know it. Yeah. We're not allowed to wish for football season. You taught me that. No, Rick taught me that. I used to say, I can't wait for. He say, shut up. You don't wish your life away.
I can't wait to me is 4-letter word after 4-letter word.
Yeah.
Because enjoy it tonight.
I know you. You know what? And I've come around. Because you taught me that.
Well, it was such a great time of year. I mean, if you watched the Stanley Cup final last night, it was insane. And then you got the NBA tonight and, some great baseball. And, my GF went to Tech for 2 years, Texas Tech and then Oklahoma. I had the hockey game on. We were also watching that softball game.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable last night. Obstruction on a throw out.
No.
A throw out from the catcher to the second base. They call obstruction so Tech gets the runner back at second. They hit a single. They go up 1-0. Then you go to the 6th inning, and they spent $1 million on this pitcher who is phenomenal.
Candidate.
Texas Tech spent $1 million on a softball pitcher.
They get her to come from Stanford.
Right.
Wow.
And she couldn't – they wanted to walk her. Unlike Major League Baseball and college softball, you got to throw your 4 pitches. She's not throwing them outside. She's throwing them high. On a 3-0 count, Texas's best player swings the bat on what is supposed to be ball 4.
Right.
It's a 2-run single.
Yeah, and
Texas wins 2-1.
And the obstruction, by the way, was just the foot was there.
Yeah.
It was not she was not blocking the base.
Have you ever seen anyone swing on what is supposed to be an automatic pass?
No, I did not. I have not.
I mean, all the base, they don't do it in baseball. They don't do it anymore. But for years, we watched it. That happened last night in the World Series.
And I didn't even realize that, but I saw the obstruction thing. The girl just had her foot there.
Yeah.
It was a terrible.
It was a really bad call.
Terrible call.
Yeah.
Look at you watching on softball. I like it.
Hey,
What's tonight? What are we doing?
More of that.
Okay.
We're going to preview game 2 tonight. Texas and Texas Tech trying to win their first ever college World Series of softball. No, I just came from the Miller Electric Center. I met with all the position coaches. So I have a lot of sound, a lot of interviews from all of them.
All coming up. Assistant coaches met with the crew today, met with the media crew today. Rick will have that for you. That comes up. That'll do it for us tomorrow. Last show of the week, same bad time, same bad channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.